Canadian Securities Exchange, we say, is one of the fastest growing exchanges in the world at the present time. We are listing companies at a much faster pace than we have ever in our 11-year existence. And we are listing more real businesses at this point than any other exchange group in Canada. And we take that as very positive feedback from the marketplace that our message, our services, are resonating with the entrepreneurial community. We've really boiled down the advantages of listing on the Canadian Securities Exchange to 5 main reasons. The first one is streamlined listings process. So the idea is that we want to have a very clear and concise rule book, something that it's objective. People can predict in advance, whether or not the company is going to qualify, and not engage in a lengthy process with our listing staff to determine whether or not the company is going to make it. So we've been able to reduce our rule book to a very small, concise, easy to understand framework that isn't really just for the lawyers and the corporate finance people. In fact, the companies, the businesses themselves can really look at it and figure out what's going on. We focus on the company's disclosure record. So we look at things like the past audited statements or filings that they've made, and we consolidate that into the listing statement. With that, we can cut the time that it takes for a company to get into the public markets from months, many months in some cases, down to many weeks instead. The second reason that we believe that we are the exchange for entrepreneurs is that we have connections to all of the major brokerage firms operating in Canada. And it's not just the full-service folks, it's the discount brokers as well. And that's actually been a huge job and in fact a significant milestone that we've reached in the last year or so. But it doesn't just stop at the Canadian borders. We have an important relationship with the OTC Markets Group in the United States. We have US dollar quotes from many of our companies, I think about 105, on the OTC markets at this point. What that means is that US retail investors, through their discount brokerage accounts, have access to the US dollar quote in the United States. The existence of that market and our market side by side, and market makers operating both places, has resulted in deeper markets and tighter spreads for the issuers. I'm also spending a lot of time now working with European investors to improve access directly into our markets from Europe directly. And again, it's the same reason that with more investors in the crowd looking or evaluating opportunities for listed companies, the spreads are tighter, the books are deeper, and overall there is more liquidity available. Also for retail investors, there are several important portals. So Google Finance being one of the principal ones, where people can go and get real-time market data from the Canadian Securities Exchange, and we're the only exchange in Canada that provides real-time data on their issuers through the Google Finance portal. And we have all of the major newswire services, the other portals that service the retail investment community, not just in Canada but globally, are connected to us and are showing our real-time data at this point. The third reason is enhanced disclosure. One of the foundations of our continuous disclosure program for the companies is a requirement that they provide monthly statements available through our website that provide an update to investors on the company's progress. And we encourage the companies to use that as an important part of their investor relations and shareholder communication program because it's an opportunity for them to tell their story to a broader audience. The fourth reason is the streamlined regulation process that we provide. And it's not just on the initial listing phase, but when companies are looking to raise additional capital, to do corporate reorganizations or do acquisitions or so on. That enables us to reduce the amount of time that it takes for the companies to complete a transaction, and it certainly reduces their costs. The fifth reason is low fixed fees. And the important thing here is not so much that the fees are low, they're completely predictable because they're flat rate. It doesn't matter if the company is doing significant reorganizations or changes, and importantly, raising additional money, the fee is the same.